residential perspective, that's quite an interesting market because you can get a lot of residential capital values are very high, and you're actually buying buildings often because the residential rents are actually quite low. You can actually look at a residential building. The yield would have to be 2.5% to 3.5%. But if you could remove the tenants and sell out vacant possession, the individual apartments, then you could make a serious amounts of money because the capital values are so much higher in vacant possession. But because France protects the underdog, the tenants, it's very hard to get them out. If you buy a new, say you buy a house, a period building in Paris that's just let to a number of tenants, you'd be obliged to actually grant them 6-year leases on acquisition. So for an opportunistic guy or a value add guy, that just isn't that interesting, which is looking at a sort of a 7 to 10 year period before you could actually really sell out all of the individual units. But I do think residential, if you can incorporate a little bit of it in the portfolio, it's quite interesting.
Okay, good. Yes, Alfred.
What we have seen in the center of Paris, a number of office buildings which are obsolete nowadays. And so transforming office space into apartments is something which is, for a certain period of time, was always sexy if you find the right size of office building in the city center. So that was something for opportunistic investors I have seen. We bought 2 of them. They were empty after 2 years, and we could transform them into luxurious apartments in the 16th and in the 15th arrondissement. So nicely placed, it was well done. And I think personally, having seen now, spoken to the city of Paris, they are anticipating having much more tourists coming into the city. I think we are now in the city itself with luxurious hotels. We are really well placed. There are so many new hotels which have come into the market. But I think we will see much more tourists coming from China who are not looking for the 5-star plus, but the 2-star or 3-star hotels, because they will not spend so much money on hotel, but going to Louis Vuitton, buying the handbag not 1, but 10 times, because it's so much cheaper in Paris, even on Avenue Champs-Élysées, than in Tokyo or in China somewhere, where they pay 2 or 3 times the price as of Champs-Élysées. So I think people who are going now for these 2 or 3-star hotels in the Parisian area, they have also a good bet to succeed in that, because people from China or from Asia are coming, and also from Latin America, not being really the millionaires or billionaires looking for very luxurious hotels, but for a hotel which they can afford and have also some fun in the city.
Just a quick question, actually, back to you on that. Is that I understand that the actual development process is actually is starting to be streamlined a little bit better now from a legal perspective, which does hopefully then mean that actually it is easier to push through and actually get these developments done if you are trying to maybe change use or reposition the assets.
That's absolutely right. I think transforming office into residential has never been a problem. Having residential into office is a problem. But if you have a project where you can say, well, I would like to have a 100-bedroom hotel, 2-star, and this and that area, you can get the permission quite quickly.
So this is something that the city is actively wanting to promote, yes, in order to service those tourists.
They anticipate over the next 10 years to double simply the number of tourists coming to Paris. So that is their anticipation.
Okay.
Even if it's only 50%, it's still a lot of people coming in. Would mean, I think we are talking about 2 or 3 million people coming to Paris, in addition to the tourists who are today coming to Paris.